Good day everyone, I am James Lapiceros and now I am going to read you a folklore entitled Duende. Duende are goblins, hobgoblins, elves, and dwarfs. They are little creatures who can provide good fortune or bad fate to humans. In the Philippines, duendes frequently live in houses, in trees, underground, termite-like mound or hill, and in rural areas. They are known to be either good or mischievous, depending on how homeowners treat them. They usually come out 12 noon for an hour and during the night. Filipinos always mutter words tabi-tabi po or bari-bari apo makailabas kami apo, asking them to excuse themselves for bothering the duendes. Filipinos would leave food on the floor so that the duende residing or guarding the house would not be angry with them. They also take your things and laugh at you when you try to find it. They give it back when they feel like it, or when you tell them to please give it back. This story took place in the Philippines when I was 7 years old. I can recall some of the stuff that happened to me, but not to the fullest. My uncle retold the story again to me later on when I got a little older. And then, from the time to time that we have family gatherings, someone in my family would retell the story again as it was a bit mind-boggling. The story started when my dad and I went to visit his sister, my aunt and my cousins in the province somewhere in Bulacan. My aunt has 3 children. One is my age, and the 2 are a couple of years older than I was. When we got to their house, I remembered sobrang excited ng tita ko to welcome me. Later on, my cousins and I went outside to play hide and seek. My older cousin was the seeker while everyone else hid. My aunt's house was out in the woods. Her house was surrounded by mountains and trees, after trees and tall grasses. Super fresh and you can smell car smoke. Back to playing hide and seek, my cousin was the seeker and everyone hid. I wanted to hide where my cousin couldn't find me. So I saw this very big tree, what seemed to be like 100 years old tree. Around it, I found a little hole and that's where I hide. Without thinking and forgetting that what my elders told me about duendes, I forgot to say what we're supposed to say and hide a long time in the tree. After what seemed to be forever hiding, I came out of the hole and went back to where my cousins were. They said that they had given up looking for me since they didn't find me anywhere. That evening before dinner, I started not feeling too good. I remember the shake, the many trips to the bathroom, vomiting, and after that I can honestly say that I don't remember what else happened. But my dad and aunt told me that I was practically in a coma for 3 days. They thought that I am dying. They said that in some cases I was hallucinating. I would sweat heavily, laughed, cried, and sometimes I talked to someone in front of me as if someone was there. But there was no one there. They even took me to a local hospital, but the doctors couldn't tell my family what was wrong with me. Until a neighbor of my tita, Aling Sally, told them to call a albularyo. Then suddenly, an old woman came. She just looked at me and lit a candle, took a tub and poured about an inch or 2 of water in it. Then she mixed a few drops of some special oil that comes from a plant with the water. While chanting in some weird language, She took the lit candle and poured the melted wax in the tub with the water and oil. As she poured the wax, a figure started to form. My uncle said that the melted way on the water formed a huge tree with a hole. Inside the hole was a human, which was supposed to be me, and around me was about 4 or 5 duendes. Some were just standing there staring at me, and some looked like they were throwing something at me. The albulario advised my family to take me back where that big tree was and to say tabi tabi po nono and bring some fruits offerings. That someday, my dad and aunt took me to the tree and excused me from the wrongdoings and brought with them plenty of fruits. All I remembered was waking up the next day without any recollections of what had happened to me.